Secret Mansion, Part 3. The mansion was quieter than ever. Shifolarin was in custody. The news cycle was still buzzing, but inside the once bustling Ajayi estate, silence now came with shame, not power. Adeola moved through the hall like a stranger in her own home. Mama Ronke stayed locked in her bedroom most days, too humiliated to face the world. Sometimes, Adeola heard her crying, other times, praying. But no apology could undo the years of silence. Adeola wasn't angry anymore. She was curious. One morning, while packing some of her things, she found a small wooden box hidden behind her father's old bookshelf. One of the few things left untouched in the study. It had a rusty lock. She pried it open with a hairpin. Inside, documents, old photographs, and a torn diary labeled Joseph Ayula Ajayi, 2002. Her biological father, the man she barely remembered. Her hands trembled as she opened the first page. If something happened to me, let the world know it was Folarin. Her breath caught. She flipped through the pages, heart racing. The diary details, business deals, betrayals, and Folarin rise to wealth. The final entries were chilling. Folarin came again today, accused me of sleeping with Ronke, but it's him she loves, not me. He wants everything I have, my company, my family, even my daughter. The last line was scribbled violently. If I die, it wasn't an accident. Adeola staggered backward, the boss clattering on the floor. Folarin killed him, she whispered. Later that night, Adeola sat with Nike and Daniel on the porch of Nike's flat. The lights were off. He planned it all. Adeola said, my father's death, marrying my mother, moving us into that cursed house. He wanted everything my father had. Daniel rubbed his jaw, and he took it, piece by piece. Nike was furious. The way your mom changed after he died, she probably knew the truth and chose silence again. Daniel looked at Adeola. What are you going to do with the diary? Submit it to the police, add it to the case. It might reopen a murder investigation, Daniel said. Good. Let him rot in jail, with every truth tied to his name. Nike raised a plastic cup to vengeance. Daniel chuckled. To justice. Adeola, she said nothing. Just stared up at the stars and whispered, to peace. The next day, she visited the EFCC office with a lawyer clutching her father's diary in a sealed envelope. The officers looked at the evidence with wide eyes. This wasn't just sexual abuse. It was now a potential murder conspiracy. You may have just buried him for good, the lawyer whispered. Adeola walked out of the building into the sunlight, and for the first time since she was a child, she didn't feel small. That evening, she returned to the mansion for the last time. Ronke was in the sitting room, hair wrapped in a scarf, face gaunt with exhaustion. I know why you stayed, Adeola said quietly, but I will never understand it. Ronke blinked. You read the diary? Adeola nodded. Tears filled Ronke's eyes. He threatened me. He said if I left, it would destroy us. He said your father's death would be my fault. I believed him. You could have still protected me. I didn't know how. I was weak. You still are. Ronke looked down, shamed. I am moving out, Adeola said. Ronke didn't object. As she packed her final bag, Daniel called. I found a place in Ibadan, he said. A quiet flat near Bodija. Peaceful, close to nature. I thought you would like it. She smiled through the phone. Sounds perfect. You ready to leave Lagos? I am ready to leave the past. That night, Nike drove her out of the estate. She didn't look back. The gate closed behind them, and so did a shatter of Oro. Ibadan wasn't Lagos. It didn't pause with the same chaos, the same ambition or noise. Instead, it breathed in soft hill, quiet sunset, and long, slow morning that felt like healing. Adeola had been living in a small, clean flat just outside Bodija, gifted to her by an anonymous sponsor who believed in her story, but she knew who it was. Daniel, always quiet with his kindness. Her mornings were peaceful now. One Thursday afternoon, she visited the Haven, the women's center she had started from scratch. It was just a small rented building with 3 rooms and donated furniture, but it buzzed with stories and strength. Survivors like her. Word about the center spread. Girls came from Oyo town, Iwo Road, and even Lagos. They came broken, but they left believing. Nike came down twice a month to help run the program, and Daniel, he never left. One quiet evening, Daniel knocked on her door, holding 2 takeaway packs of amala and ewedu. "You never eat," he teased, setting the food on her table. "I'm always nervous when you bring amala," she grinned. "You act like it's a love language." "It is. I learned from the best." They sat on a small couch, legs tangled. "I got accepted into a master's program in South Africa," he said after a moment. "Oh, but I am not going." She looked up. "Why?" He met her eyes. "Because I love you." Her heart stopped. "And I am not leaving until you believe you are allowed to be loved again." Tears poured in her eyes. "You shouldn't want someone like me. I don't want someone perfect. I want you." She tried to look away, but he pulled her gently towards him. Their lips met in the quiet of the living room, soft and certain, not demanded. This was love without violence, without shame, and for the first time, she kissed back without guilt. Later that night, they sat on her balcony, the stars blinking above them. "I'm scared," she admitted. "Sometimes I still dream about him. Sometimes I still hear his voice when I'm alone." "That's trauma," Daniel said, wrapping his arm around her. "Not weakness. I'm afraid I will be ruined." "You won't." She rested her head on his chest. "You are too good. I'm just willing." 3 weeks later, a letter arrived. Court summons. Chief Folarin had requested a hearing for early parole. 1 week later, the court hearing proceeded. She wore a simple black gown, no makeup, just presence. Chief Folarin was wheeled into the courtroom, older, grayer, thinner, but still defiant. He scanned the courtroom. His eyes landed on Adeola. He smirked. Then he spoke. "I have paid my price. I am an old man now. What more can the system take from me? Let me die at home. I have changed." Adeola stood when it was her turn. She took the mic and faced the judge, but spoke directly to him. "You didn't just violate my body. You stole my childhood. You taught me that pain wears a suit and calls itself father. You told me no one would ever love me." She glanced at Daniel in the back row. "You were wrong." Then she faced the judge. "He is not sorry. He is dangerous. And if you let him out, someone else's daughter will bleed." Then silence. Chief's eyes narrowed as he was wheeled out. For the first time, he looked defeated. That night, Daniel cooked jollof rice in her kitchen. "You were fire in that courtroom," he said. She smiled faintly. "I didn't cry. You were never weak." She leaned in and kissed him again, longer this time, deeper. When they parted, she whispered, "I want this. I am here always." As rain began to fall lightly outside, they stood at the window holding hands. Her past had claws, but her future, it had arms wide open. Please subscribe to my channel for more stories like this. Thank you.